Part 2, sequel, coming at you. I only get 10 minutes of record time, so you're going to have to get this last part on part 2. Anyway, like I said, we got to ratify the Constitution. 9 of 13 states have to be on board with this before it officially goes into effect. But just like it was with the Declaration, it will be most effective if we can get all 13 states on board. We want everybody on board. So what happens at this point is all the states are going to hold their own individual conventions in their states to decide, are we going to approve this Constitution? Are we not? All states except Rhode Island. Again, they have their issues. Anyway, 1787, Delaware becomes state number 1 to ratify the Constitution. And within that year, we get the other 8 that we need to ratify the Constitution. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, and New Hampshire all ratify. The Constitution then officially goes into effect June of 1788. And we have been using this form of government ever since June of 1788. Within the next 2 years, by 1790, all states, even Rhode Island, have ratified the Constitution. And again, this is the form of government that we have used ever since. I just think this is kind of a cool story here. This is the back of the chair that Washington sat in during the Constitutional Convention, and there was this rising, or the sun, half of a sun on there. And Franklin was quoted at one point saying here, "I've often looked behind the president without being able to tell whether it was a rising or setting sun, but now I know that it is a rising sun." So he's optimistic about that. I think that's a cool story, so much that, see that? I tattooed it right there. There you go. Anyway, so yes, Franklin optimistic about the new country, as are most of the delegates that were there. However, a lot of states approved it under one condition, and that was that a Bill of Rights be added to the Constitution. In other words, here's this document that talks about all the things that the government can do and all the rights that the government has, all the power that the government has, but where's the guarantee to the people, right? Where does it say in this Constitution that my natural rights, my life and liberty, pursuit of happiness will be protected by this government? So the compromise is that the states say, all right, we'll approve this Constitution, but I need a guarantee that you're going to add a Bill of Rights, a list of rights that citizens have. That task falls to James Madison, as he's a member of the newly elected Congress, future president James Madison. He's from Virginia. Madison tells the people of Congress, go back to your constituents, those that you represent in your states, and ask them what they want included in this Bill of Rights. They come back to him with over 200 suggestions that should be included. Amazingly, he takes that 200, he narrows it down to 12. Proposes those 12 to Congress. Of those 12, 10 of them are ratified, and those 10 amendments become the Bill of Rights as we know them today. All of your natural rights, like freedom of speech, freedom of press, your right to peacefully assemble, right to bear arms, don't have to quarter soldiers, yada, yada, yada. We'll talk more about those in detail next week when I get back. But yeah, the Bill of Rights is a big one. Okay, that's added, and that's the thing that's up at the end of the board in front of you there. So that is your section 2 notes. From here, your task then is to go on and complete the next few pages in your notes. So you'll be looking at this thing next in your notes. Yours will be colored, and you can scroll down. But this talks about the different powers of the federal government, the state government, and the local government. You're going to use the information on here to answer the questions on the next page. I'm not going to show you mine because it's filled out. But there's a chart that you need to fill out saying who does what, each of these powers here. There's the powers on the left, and then you've got 3 columns on the right: federal government, state government, local government. You need to tell me who does what. Some of those rows may have more than one X, right? Some of those powers and responsibilities are shared. If you scroll down in your notes from there, you've got some citizenship questions that you need to answer using pages 234 to 237 in the text. It's all on there. Looks like 3 questions there that you're going to answer. Okay, then you keep scrolling down in your notes, and you'll get to the requirements to serve in the U.S. government question. There's a link for each set of questions that you need to answer. So it says, click here to research the requirements to become POTUS, and there's 3 questions underneath that. Go through and answer those questions as well. And then lastly, and this is what else you're working on over the next 2 days, this chart here over political parties. There's a link to click there, and it says list that explains 3 different ways political parties can affect government and society. You've got the rest of the period today and tomorrow to get all of those questions done. If you manage to get that stuff done early, you know the drill. Read a book, do something that doesn't involve talking, and most importantly, getting your name written down by the sub. And then you and I have to have some conversation when I get back. So, yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask whoever is subbing today. And yeah, that's it. Have a good weekend. Peace out.